Hello, today I'm going to be making a coffee eye serum. Coffee is supposed to have very good effects on under eye dark circles and bags. It's supposed to be toning and lifting. There's a few other ingredients in there as well that all have similar effects. So let's get on with the recipe. It's a very nice, simple, easy one for you today. So here I have a bain-marie, which is water in a pan, a bowl which doesn't touch the bottom of the pan. You can either have it touching or not touching the water, depending on your ingredients. The oil and coffee is quite robust, so it's touching. I've got a couple of dessert spoonfuls of coffee grounds in here, and I'll say probably about four or 5 tablespoons full of sweet almond oil and vitamin E oil. Now you could, if you had the time, you can cold infuse these, which apparently is better. It destroys less of the active ingredients, and you would need to seal those together in a clean jar and leave it in a warm and preferably darkish place for 48 hours at least, and maybe more like 4 or 5 days to get the full benefits. As it is, we can put it in the bain-marie just on a low heat, on a gentle simmer for about 20 minutes. So we'll just leave that to cook. I'll get on with the rest of the recipe. Well, we've been cooking our coffee and oil together for about 20 minutes now, very, very gently, just on a simmering heat. Smells amazing, so let's get on with the next bit of the recipe. You can see that the oil has really taken on the colour of the coffee, and it seems to be straining through pretty well. And we'll just leave that to cool down before we add the rest of our ingredients. So here we go, we're ready to make the rest of our coffee eye serum. We'll let the oil drain through, and I'm going to retain those coffee grounds. We'll just try and squeeze as much oil as you can out of the muslin. I'm going to retain those coffee grounds for a super extra recipe you can get out of those lovely coffee grounds. And the muslin is great because obviously it can just be rinsed out and reused as many times as you like. So into my cooled down oil, I'm going to add a vitamin E capsule. It's really best to buy these vitamin E as capsules because it's very thick, you hardly ever use much at a time, and it stays much fresher in the capsules than it will in a bottle or any other form. I'm just going to snip the end of the gel capsule and squeeze that lovely thick oil, squeeze it out as much as you can get. Good stuff. And then I'm just going to add 5 drops of geranium oil, and 5 drops of lavender oil. Lavender's soothing, anti-inflammatory and anti-redness, and geranium is also very soothing, very anti-redness, it's anti-irritation, and it's got benefits of getting rid of dark eye circles. Vitamin E is just deeply, deeply nourishing and calming, and we're just going to swoosh them together coffee oil is still very, very slightly warm, so that's enough to make that very thick vitamin E oil distribute itself throughout the recipe. And once that's properly cooled down, the ideal thing to put it in would be a rollerball applicator. You can just dip in with your ring finger a tiny amount, just pat that very gently on underneath the eyes. Last thing at night. I'm going to leave that to settle completely so that there's no coffee sediment in there at all before I strain it off and put it into its final container.